Dozens of HIV-positive pregnant women were sterilised by hospital staff without their knowledge. This is according to a report released by South Africa's Gender Equality Commission. Some complainants said they were given forms in moments of extreme pain during which they could not fully grasp the content. Investigators found hospital staff threatened to deny women medical attention if they did not sign the paperwork. Well, weighing into this debate is the national chairperson of the South African Medical Association, Angelique Coetzee. Good evening to you and welcome. The CGE has found the practice, and I quote, cruel, torturous or inhuman and degrading. How's your organisation assessing this evening?
Good evening, Jeremy. Yes, sterilisation should only be provided with the full, free and informed consent of the individual. It is incomprehensibly tragic that vulnerable groups of people, such as those living with HIV, continue to be sterilised without providing full, free and informed consent. It is also an unbelievably severe violation of fundamental human rights, including the right to health, the right to freedom and security of the person, which includes the right to your bodily and psychological integrity, also the right to information, the right to privacy, the right to decide on the number and the spacing of children. The woman has a right to found a family and a right to be free from discrimination. Our Section 21(2)(a) of our Constitution expressively states that everyone has a right to bodily and psychological integrity, which includes the right to make a decision concerning reproduction. So SAMA explicitly condemns these atrocious practices.
Ms. Coetzee, I wonder if I could ask you this question. What circumstances then exist, possibly in rural hospitals where this has happened, that allow this type of behaviour to happen?
There is no circumstances that should allow this to happen. Nothing. Nothing. Any form of involuntary, coercive or forced sterilisation breaches the intrinsic ethical principles that we as medical professions should respect, safeguard, and we need to swear to uphold them. So how can we allow this? So no, there is no right, there is nothing that allows this and can be saying that this should happen. It is nothing. We are terribly saddened and we are appalled by those actions of people involved. And if it's medical doctors involved, it's sad. It's a very sad day.
So, Ms. Coetzee, it then begs the question about what sort of action can be taken and whether your organisation, SAMA, is empowered to wade in and investigate. Well, SAMA echoes the interagency statement by the World Medical Association, the United Women UNAIDS, that forced, coercive and otherwise involuntary sterilisation should be eliminated. Sterilisation as a method of contraception and family planning should be available, free, accessible, good quality, no discrimination. That is how it should be. And that laws, our regulations, policies and practices should ensure that that provision of procedures resulting in sterilisation is based on full, free and informed decision-making of persons concerned in this process. Again, I ask the question, is the South African Medical Association empowered to get involved in this? Are you able to investigate and take any action?
Yes, we will investigate. We only became today aware of this statement. So we will investigate. We will, as we have said, we will keep in touch with the National Department of Health. We will work together with them. We will try to find out with the HPCSA what happened here, because this is unacceptable. It's not.
What changes in legislation are needed?
Well, it's not so much that changes are needed, is that that it should be forced to be implemented. Our constitution, as I've said, is very clear that you cannot do anything against someone's will. You cannot ask a female lying in labor with severe pain to sign a sterilization.
Ms. Coetzee, I'll tell you why I ask you that question. Because the Commission itself, the Gender Equality Commission, is recommending that where women agree to sterilization, they must be given a cooling off period in order to fully appreciate the risks and consequences of that particular procedure. Surely that would then need to be legalized, to put into some form of law.
Well, you can legalize that, but that is an ethical, that's a right. The woman's got a right. You have a right to make that decision. You have a right. If there's a cooling off period, yes, it can help. But you still have a right not to be forced into signing any document just to get the delivery done. It cannot happen. It's unethical. You don't need a law. You need common sense on that.
Thank you very much for joining us this evening. A very disturbing story. Angelique Coetzee, National Chairperson of the South African Medical Association.